Hello, welcome again. Till now, we have seen till BDD. So, in this section, we'll discuss about data-driven test design. So, what is meant by data-driven test design? Data-driven test design is a methodology used in software testing where the test scripts are used in a variety of test datasets. So, instead you hard coding the test values in the test script, the values are read from external data source such as Excel file, CSV file, database, right? This approach allow the same test script to be run multiple times with different sets of input values, improving test coverage and making test easier to maintain. So basically, in a nutshell, if we say data-driven test design is where the same test script you need to run with multiple input values, right? So how this can be achieved in Zephyr scale? We'll quickly look into it. Let me open the Zephyr scale. Let's create a new test case. Let me name it as data-driven test. Okay. So I'm not writing all the things as you are aware. You can do it by yourself, create it. Okay. So here is the test case. Let's go to the test script. So here we are writing the step and expected result, right? If you see, if you click here, there is something called test data, right? Click on the test data. Click to type the column name. Let's say I want to include username, right? Add column. What will be the username? Let's say I want to test for admin, okay, and another user called test user one. This is let's say I want to have the password data also. Add column for admin. Let it be admin at the rate 342. Test user one something. Okay. Now this is a test data we have created, right? How do you use it? You know how to use the parameter, right? Input username. Expected result you can write it. Okay. User able to input the username in the text field. Next step is, so again we are creating, so our all whatever we are creating test script all are for login functionality. Okay. Input password, user able to input the password. Okay. Now save it. So what we are trying to do here, we are trying to test uh, uh, login functionality using two test data, right? One is username with admin and the corresponding password, and user one with the corresponding password. So we have saved the test case. Now if you go to the test cycle and add it so that you can execute it. So do remember, anyway we'll discuss test player where we are going to do execution, adding and all. You have to go to the test cycle particularly, so that this is something old I have added, so I'll delete it now. Save it. uh, our test case, data driven test, right? Currently what we have done now, data driven test, add it, save it. Okay, so you have added the test cases to test cycle, and to execute you have to go to the test player, data driven test. So there are, as you can see, we have two input data, right? So our script should run two times with the input values. Let's see if it is there, if that is the case. So you can see test script row one in test data table. Okay. So row one, so admin and admin at the rate 342. So one time it will be used with this one, and test script row two in, so with test user one. So how many data you have input there? Same number of same number of, I mean, if there is two set of data, two times the test script will run. Okay. Now this is one of the way you can create the test data set. Another way is go to configuration. Okay. Here you can see data set, right? So here also you can create the data set. Let's say same thing. Let's do it. I'll give a different name, user underscore name. Okay. Add option, ADMIN, create a new capital I'm giving so that will distinguish. Uh, I mean, because we have given an admin name there, so I'm giving it capital so that we'll be able to distinguish which one we are using. Test user one. Okay. Test user two. Similarly, let's create another data set for uh, PASSWAD password. Okay. Where is the password? Okay. Sorry. Down. Add an option admin at the rate something. Okay. Enter. So to put, so please press enter to add your option. Okay. Test US1 at the rate 32. Enter. Test 2, 3 has something. This is the password. So here also you have created. Okay. Username and password. Right. Now how back to our test library. How do we use it? Let's say another data driven test underscore. Let test something we keep. Let's put it correctly. Relatively EST. Right. Now go to test script where you add our details. Here again, test data, right? So at that time here we have added the column name and we have input the data. But as we have already that in our configuration, we have created a data set. Now we are going to use that data set, right? So username, add column, and another one is password, add column. So these two set we are going to use. Okay. Now what is the username? We are going to add admin test user one, test user two. So before this, when we are doing, we have a corresponding set of password with created, but here we have different data sets. So from the data set, we have to use what is the corresponding value we have to use, right? For example, for admin, what is the password you are going to use, which will work? I mean, let's say we are testing for valid credential. This is the password. For test user one, this is the one. For test user two, this is the password. Similarly, whatever we did, let's do that way. Input username, user able to input something. Okay, I'm not writing it because why to waste time in writing what is user able to input. Let's step input password. Okay, to input password. Script it. Now we have to again. Let's use it in a test cycle. Let's use it here. Okay, test case. Our test case data driven. Let test. Add it. Save it. Now for execution, we have to go to test player. So the data driven latest, if you see, There should be three: row 1, row 2, row 3. Now you can execute based on your test data set. Hope you understood it, how to use the test data set in data driven test design. Okay. Thank you for joining. I will see you in the next section with some new learnings.